Am I the butthole for telling my parents I have no positive memories with them? Yesterday my friend came over. We have been friends for 5 years now and we were talking about some fun things we did in school. Our school is on a huge piece of land and we found some planks and built a huge fort with a lot of our friends, and it was our secret paradise where we would sleep during breaks or just chat a lot. We talked for hours about memories. It was just like you remember when. It was a nice trip down memory lane. My parents were pretty happy and they wanted to do the same thing, but I honestly couldn't think of one positive memory I had with them. I used to run and hide because I was so scared of my dad. I also remembered going through homework with my mom and it being a huge blow to my self-esteem as she would call me stupid and worthless. I remembered trying to unplug my dad's Mac charger and getting electrocuted, but the charger got spoiled and I was punished for spoiling the charger since it was expensive. I told them I cannot remember a positive memory and maybe they can help me remember. They talked about teaching me how to write, but that was a negative memory to me since I was basically being threatened throughout the process. They mentioned playing pranks like pretending they were angry at me, but that was negative to me because I was just scared. They called me unappreciative and said that they were sorry they could not make me happy, condescending. Now I am wondering if I was the butthole. I am not saying I needed expensive vacations to have positive memories or anything like that. I had positive memories in science class and I have positive memories of my older sister carrying me on her shoulders when I was little, but all I remember is being scared of what my parents would do to me, to the point I even flinch when someone give me a high five. I remember my friends asking me why I am scared of a high five when I flinch when they are going to high five me. Edit. I corrected some spelling mistakes. I asked my sister if she has good memories with our parents and she said she does, but she has more bad than good ones with our parents. She also mentioned that she only remembered them because of random things, like seeing the Nokia logo reminded her of our parents setting up her first phone, and when she heard some Daft Punk songs it reminded her of us in the car going to visit our grandma. Thank you for the awards and the responses. NTA, they don't like to be faced with their own failure as parents, but that doesn't mean you needed to fabricate some happy memories to appease their egos. Exactly, not the butthole. They cared more about a charger than you. No wonder you have no fond memories. Also, parents shouldn't fake being angry to a child that isn't funny whatsoever. Seriously. I work hard to hide when I actually am angry with my toddler because she would just be scared that I'm angry and not understand that in our society, throwing a sauce-covered wad of spaghetti at someone is considered really rude. It's my job to teach her how to behave rather than intimidate her with anger. I can't imagine just pretending to be angry when I'm not because of a misguided belief that intimidating a child is funny. Ops parents are sadistic. I like your phrasing as it implies that there exists a society where chucking spaghetti at someone isn't considered rude. I look forward to finding that society. Till my house isn't up to the levels of society. Embrace it. Grab a fistful of noodles and join the party. Upvote for your username. Thank you. So does that baby? Do you have any herons or cranes? Basically, mama needs a leggy shore bird. I don't. We used to have one who hung out in the local shopping center, but he is no longer there. I have been told I look like one, though. We could start it. I have a large yard and many boxes of discount pasta. So this is how empires are born. I imagine more trumpets, but given all the noodles and sauce, they'd probably be a bad idea anyway. I babysat once for people from that society. The cleanup. It is my children's secret society. I am sure there are other enclaves. It also allows for things like painting one's brother with glue and throwing glitter all over him. Fun times. I don't advocate these things, but they willingly participate with each other. In my toddler society, smearing poop on the walls and sticking toys in her poopy diaper right before I'm about to change it is a sign of love and artistic genius. Wait, would that be the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster? I've been looking for a new religion, all the better if food fights are part of the deal. This is funny. I follow a podcast that asks guests, if you could, who would you throw cold spaghetti at? Not murder, not steal, just throw spaghetti at. While I agree with you for the most part, I do also think it's important for slightly older children to see their parents deal with anger in a healthy way, so they learn how to do that for themselves. I also think it's mega effed up to pretend to be angry at your kid when you're not. Pour up. Disclaimer: you're the parent and it sounds like you're doing a great job, and I only have 2 paragraphs of info to inform this. But I felt like it couldn't hurt to add that it's also important for children to learn about anger and how to handle it without losing it. So as much as it's important not to scare your child with anger, at some point they will feel anger, and it would be really beneficial for them to have been taught how to manage those feelings. But again, maybe that's exactly what you're already doing. Just thought I'd put it out there. Oh totally, we talk about when she's angry and I name that feeling for her and am empathic to her being angry about something. She also sees me get angry with things, and I'll explain that mommy is angry because a screw is stripped on a toy that needs a battery replaced and it's difficult. I just try not to be visibly angry with her at this point because she's little, she's still under 2. When she's a little bit older and understands that anger isn't forever, we can talk about why what she's doing might make me angry. That's so great, it sounds like you're doing an amazing job. And kids are hard. A prank where the pranksters laugh at the target rather than with the target is called bullying. Pranks are only fun when the target is laughing too. It reminds me of that YouTube family who ended up having their kids removed because they were abusive, and their pranks consisted of setting up the kids to think they were in trouble, screaming blue murder at them, and then when they were sobbing repeatedly shouting lighten up, it's just a prank bro. I don't want to know, but I want to know. That's so effed up. What's the family called so I can Google? Daddy05. I think they mean web link. Also, parents shouldn't fake being angry to a child that isn't funny whatsoever. There's been a viral video circulating on YouTube of parents who did this, pranked their kids by screaming at them, threatening to adopt them out, etc., and then laughing when the kids freaked out. These walking pieces of trash filmed the whole thing and posted it online. They've since lost custody of their kids, and rightfully so. I hope that helps you feel a bit of validation that what your parents did to you is not okay. Period. NTA. Jimmy Kimmel does that horrible bit where parents pretend to eat their kids' Halloween candy. I never got what was supposed to be funny about that. I'm glad I'm not the only one who hates that. It just seems so pointlessly cruel. I know. I feel the exact same way. That's not funny either. I accidentally pranked my son when he was in middle school. I hate pranks. He was begging me to get a crappy pair of headphones from the white elephant exchange we did as a big family group, and I refused, crushing his heart. He looked at me with such betrayal and devastation in his eyes. So he got one of his wrapped gifts a couple days early. It was a pair of Beats. His disappointment and disgust with me and life in general instantly turned to joy and glee. It's the only kind of prank I engage in. Are you talking about Daddy05 or some other horrible people? They do that to blur the lines between fake and real punishment and thus give themselves plausible deniability. We weren't really screaming at our kid and hitting him, it was just a prank. In general, anyone who talks about doing pranks is usually just trying to be cruel without repercussions. Yep. A prank is I put brown dye in the milk and made you think it was chocolate milk, but really it is plain. Not we are screaming and threatening you, and making you clearly terrified. FFS, it's not funny if everyone isn't laughing. Good last line. I once faked being mad at my dog, and his sad reaction alone meant I would never do that again. I can't imagine how terrible that is to a kid. Oh geez, I remember when my then 6-year-old broke a vase that had been a wedding present. It had a huge amount of sentimental value to me, and he was so worried I was going to be angry with him. All I could do was sigh and say, be more careful, you could have cut yourself, as the vase was already very broken and what was done was done. Also, parents shouldn't fake being angry to a child that isn't funny whatsoever. They weren't kidding around though, they were seriously angry. They just refused to admit that to original post or themselves. Some people are just crafty people, and they stay crafty when they have kids. That point hit me hard. I also remember my parents being way more concerned about stuff than about me. If I fell over and ripped my jeans, I was shouted at for ruining my clothes. No concern about me having an open wound full of grit. I remember once going to hug my parents goodnight in a dimly lit living room, and accidentally kicking over a mug of coffee which was on the carpet. What kind of idiot puts a cup of hot coffee on the floor when they have young kids and a toddler? It burned my foot and really hurt, but I got shouted at for being careless and all they cared about was trying to get the stain out of the carpet. Absolutely no recognition that they had been negligent and put me at risk. Ugh. Reminds me of the Daddy Off 5 family. Pretty sure that it's him and that channel Blue Ol is on about. It depends entirely on the relationship too. Pretending to be mad at your kid when toys aren't isn't just not funny, it would cause huge trust issues, among other things. When you're a parent, you need to be that one soft landing spot for your kid. It doesn't mean not acknowledging when they screw up, but it does mean that the kid needs to know 100% that they're loved anyway and that one event doesn't define them as a human. The idea that these parents cite something like that as a happy memory is deeply messed up. Even they couldn't come up with a happy memory. Imagine one of the few happy memories you have is pranking your kids by making them think you are angry with them. How out of touch are they that these are the memories they have on offer? NTA. Narcissists don't remember all the crafty things they do. I would shatter their ego, that they're the best people ever. You think Trump thinks he's a bad person? He actually thinks he's the best president ever. Op wasn't asking them to remember crafty things, but happy things. And they couldn't come up with one thing that was happy for everyone involved. Not even one thing that was happy, but original post just didn't remember. No, they could only come up crafty things that they'd done. Usually narcissists can come up with a nice thing they've done, even if just so they can twist it into you owing them everything. You see this a lot over at r/raised by narcissists, where they will fondly recount memories of teasing, mocking, pranking the scapegoat and are shocked when the scapegoat didn't like it. Remember that narcissists view everything as an extension of themselves. This means if the narc enjoyed threatening their kid when they were teaching them how to write, then of course the kid enjoyed being threatened. It was a wonderful bonding moment. Seriously, the narcissist is mentally unable to conceive of it differently. They are unable to see it as I did X, this other person didn't like it so I made them feel bad. It's like expecting someone without legs to get up and walk. They just aren't able to. The only way to deal with someone like that is to distance yourself from that person either physically or mentally. Gray Rock, medium chill. Reddit link. I don't know how many times I had to tell my father-in-law that he needed to stop teasing my daughter/his granddaughter or she was going to stop visiting him. He couldn't wrap his head around the fact that everyone else didn't get as much amusement out of his teasing as he did. I'm just joking. Yeah, well, you're making her cry. So stop. She needs to lighten up. No. You need to stop bullying her. The bad part is she still hates to visit him but hasn't stopped going, aside from COVID, because she loves visiting grandma. She puts up with him to see her. Just been reminded of the movie in this exchange. Roscoe, you were my friend and you betrayed me. David, you thought we were friends? You beat me up, you humiliated me. I'm 35 years old and I still have nightmares about the 4th grade. That's not what friends do for each other. A friend is supposed to make you feel good about yourself. Roscoe, really? Then you're the best friend I ever had. Web link. I totally agree. I was kind of just making a point. To your point of remembering nice things, my ex would always have a list of all the stuff she did for me when he'd complain about her behavior. I'd be like, no, I want to talk about this. Well, I'm not your slave, stop trying to control me. I find it weird too that Op's parents didn't have an answer. My mom doesn't remember the crafty things she did, and she has rewritten it all in her mind. She has wild memories that me and my brother don't recall at all. I'm like original post in that I have 0 positive memories of my mom. My dad was abusive too, but I do have positive memories with him. But yeah, my mom will tell these amazing stories that happened when we were in our teens. Or it will be a legit memory, but she will put herself in the place of someone else. For example, my brother has this story that involved him and my dad. Mom insists that it was her and not dad. Everyone else except her remembers it the other way. And she will talk about how she was this nurturing, loving mother she wasn't. I was not allowed to hug her. It's crazy how she's rewritten everything in her mind. NTA. What would you be supposed to do? Invent some positive memories? I'm sorry you had such a bad experience with your parents. My question is, if this is true and you have no happy memories with them, why are they still in your life? Edit. I read this assuming you were an adult. My apologies. I hope you are safe and I hope this situation makes your parents reflect enough to do better for you. They are 15, it's not like they have many options right now. NTA, and I'm so sorry you feel so scared of them. I hope you have someone you can trust and confide in about how you are feeling. Sounds like you are still young? Hope you are safe. Yeah, my sister, I am 15. My sister cut contact with them, but I still chat with her and we play a lot of games together. I'm glad you have her. And in a few years you can join her. Doesn't that give you a clue that the issue might be with them and not with her? Not the butthole. You should never be flinching when your parents are about. The parents are probably abusive and she is very young. There are no obvious clues when you are in that situation. What original post described is straight up abuse. Some of it is borderline, but pretending to be mad at your kid is just plain horrible, and flinching from high fives is proof positive of abuse. NTA, and any parent that is upset at you for admitting you have no positive memories instead of apologizing and seeking to figure out how to avoid creating even more unhappy memories is a crap parent. Apologies, I didn't mean it literally, but as a way for original post to reframe the issue. I can see why you took it literally, my bad. These aren't just the absence of good memories, this is abuse. It's not okay, it's not normal, and you deserve better. We don't have much power or control at 15, so I'm not saying it's trivial to get away from this context just yet. But as soon as you can, do. Your parents are not a good model for other relationships that you can choose to be in, friendships or romantic. If you can, or when you can, spend time with a counselor or therapist, not because you're weird or messed up, but to rid yourself of any baggage your parents have put on you. There are lovely, kind people out there, and you'll have your whole adult life to find and spend time with them, and never have to feel afraid of them. This is some perfect advice right here from Soupy Shoes. When it is safe and possible for you to do so, move out. It seems like your sister is decent and may be able to help you, as she's done it herself. And please listen to the advice about counseling. It doesn't mean you're crazy, or seriously damaged. It means you can talk to a trusted professional who will be able to help you realize how much you deserve better and how you can let go of your parents' terrible treatment. Just think how little it took for her to make a good memory with you. Your parents should be very ashamed that there isn't even a small instance like this that you can remember fondly. They are ashamed, but they're doing the same thing original post described from the past, blaming original post instead of seeing the damage they caused and seeking to fix their behavior. I unfortunately don't think they sound ashamed. I suspect they just feel insulted and their egos are hurt. Yeah, I agree. My parents and grandma are like this. Won't admit that they are wrong, but have no problem calling out other people for their mistakes. They well over 50 and I don't see them changing. Your biggest hint that your parents are the problem is the fact your sister cut them out of her life. Maybe you could talk to her about options for doing the same as soon as you can. Maybe they should have taken a hint when your older sister cut all contact with them. Imagine after 15 years, your child says to you they don't have a fun memory: one thing you come up with, hey, remember school? Like, I helped you write, that was cool, right? 2. Remember that prank I did to you? I know, I'm your parent and it's stupid, but remember? 3. Reaction is, welly sorry you feel this way. My God, what is wrong with people? My sister cut contact with them. I wonder why. I hate to say censor your words, but since you are still at home and underage, please be careful. Since they do seem to get very angry and mean, limit the ways they can do that. Watch your back, get independent when you can. This means driver's license, birth certificate, etc. If you plan on college, start thinking about how you want to make that happen. Work a part-time job when you can to save up. Make sure you have funds separate from your parents. I'm very glad you have your sister. Does your sister have any good memories at all? Having cut off contact with your parents, I would assume not. She has a few, but she's hard to find them. I probably do, but I just couldn't think of any. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.